Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Comic Realm with Tiffany. And of course, I'm your host Tiffany, and I have my special guest Mariah returning.
Hello, I'm back.
And we're gonna do another recap of Game of Thrones episode 2.
I'll try to curse less this time.
No, curse as much as you want. So first off, what'd you think as a whole of the episode?
What a blessing to the internet. Like, the memes this week, just in the past 2 days, have been just golden. This was such a good episode.
Even seconds after the episode ended, amazing memes.
Just me and my friends, everyone I know who's been watching Game of Thrones just have been passing them back and forth. It's a great week for memes, for Game of Thrones memes. I don't remember any other episode that generated this much, like, comedy. Because, to be honest, this episode actually was kind of funny. It made you feel nice, which can only mean that the future ones will be awful. But this one was very nice.
This was a good feeling episode before everyone dies,
exactly.
Much. Before we say goodbye to some of the cast or half the crew. Who knows? We don't know who's going to survive. It had to make
you feel warm and fuzzy for just a little bit, because these fucking show writers are just going to break your heart next week. So...
they're going to snatch up your feelings.
From one extreme to the next, pretty much, is what I'm predicting.
Right. So I was like, I left the episode with some tears. Tears of joy and also sadness at the same time. I'm really nervous for the next episode of what's to come.
I just kept thinking about how many moments of horrible timing there were throughout this entire episode. Like, right at the end, like, you get that bomb drop. Jon actually does tell her, and then they're interrupted. And even in the beginning, when Dany and Sansa are having their moment, they're interrupted. I'm like, can you people stop interrupting these important moments? Like, things are not getting resolved because of all these crazy interruptions.
Right, especially with Sansa and Daenerys. I'll be like, bitch, can you see I'm in a meeting?
Be like, no, she needs to answer my question first. I don't care about Theon. Answer my question. What happens to the North?
Exactly. So first off, in the first scene, it opens up with Jaime's first trial. Well, a short little trial that he has, because he came back with no backup.
Yeah, and I mean, I get that Daenerys is upset because he killed her dad or whatever, but she completely forgot the fact that her dad was a total asshole.
Right.
Like, if anyone deserved to die, it was the Mad King. And Jaime really just did everybody a favor. But in her eyes, I guess, because she was sent into exile, it wasn't the greatest. But
it was her father. But she barely even knew the man.
Barely knew him. Has heard the terrible stories about him, and was still upset. I'm like, he kind of did you a favor. Like, you would have ended up being the Mad King's daughter and been even, like, more crazy than you are now.
Crazy and probably married off to someone who knows.
Yeah.
You know, because she is just the girl. Mm-hmm. And she may not even be able to have this chance. Who knows if this chance will happen to be the ruler of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah, exactly. Thank God for Brienne of Tarth just speaking some sense. And Sansa was looking for an excuse to just go against the queen anyway. So the second Brienne spoke up, she was like, nope, I trust her with my life. Like, let's save Jaime, even though she probably hates Jaime too. Yeah,
but like, she was also agreeing with Daenerys about because he also did stuff to her dad as well. Mm-hmm. So she's all like, okay, we can get back at him and probably kill him.
So Sansa would have been gung-ho to kill his ass too, but he didn't because, well, one, I think to kind of shove it in her face, like, I'm going against you. We're all going to vote against you. And then two, because she really does trust Lady Brienne. That's her main girl.
And she also promised to Brienne, she wouldn't put her in such a horrible position where she had to choose either when she made the promise. Yep. So, I mean, I would go with my gut and trust whatever Brienne would say too. So, she saved her life.
And at least he had the decency to go up and tell her in person. Like, he could just could have left them hanging, been like, where is everybody? At least, they were able to prepare, hey, the army from King's Landing is not coming up. We have to do things a little differently.
Yeah. But he's like, I am here to help you guys whatever I can, even though it's just me. And Snow's like, hey, we need more people. Yeah. It's as long as he's coming here to help. I mean, they would be even more mad if no one showed up.
Exactly.
So, like...
I was like, at least he did that. I don't know. Jaime's made a really big turnaround from...
I mean, people change
the
within
golden
10
lion.
years, so... And also with Bran saying, like, the things we do for love. So
oh,
I was
my
like,
God.
holy shit.
How tight did your cheeks clench when that happened? I was like, oh!
Right?
He said it. He knows.
I was
Fuck
like,
you.
oh God, here he goes. Where's Arya? Is she gonna like slice his neck?
It was just like that moment with Littlefinger last season where he was like, chaos is a ladder. It's like, how would you know that they said these things unless you actually like did have some weird, crazy power to see the past and the future? Right. And like, that's when they're starting to realize like,
hey, he is the three-eyed raven. No wonder he's being weird.
Yes,
and not
exactly.
Bran like. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and it just cuts after that. They move on and like.
Everyone's just pissed and goes back to their rooms.
Right? And, like, Jon came and give eye contact to his aunt. And once he was like, I gotta go.
Well, he was put in, like, a weird position. Like, oh, shit, I have to choose between my sister and my new girlfriend, which I'm sure every guy has felt at some point.
Yeah. Pretty much 80% of the episode, he was, like, gone somewhere.
Yeah.
Hiding. Hiding in the castle, dealing with his emotions.
Just getting things ready.
Right? So, and then, like, also the mistrust with Tyrion with the next, because...
I mean, if I were her, I'd be hella pissed, too, because, I mean, he was supposed to be, like, this crazy good strategist, and when you look back on all the mistakes he's made, she lost the army of Dorne and the Tyrells because...
of him.
Because he thought that, Casterly Rock was really that important, and it really wasn't. He knows his sister. She's going to go for the money.
Yeah.
Like,
but, I mean, you can't blame him for having, like, misjudged something from what he knows. Because he doesn't... No one really knows what's really going on because they only have these message-ass birds that are delayed or sometimes killed off.
I mean, even Jaime was kind of the mastermind behind that whole slaughtering of the Tyrells and stuff. But, I mean, it's just, like, these little mistakes that Tyrion's making that kind of have huge costs, and I think that's what's pissing Daenerys off even more because he trusted his sister. Now there's no army, and then they lost two sets of armies.
She's also like
the Sand Sisters are dead.
Yeah, and he was dumb for even believing what his Cersei would say to him just because they think, oh, because she's pregnant. But honestly, that bitch don't care.
She don't care. She knows all her kids are supposed to die.
Yeah.
She's just accepted it.
So I felt kind of bad for him. I'm like, oh no. He's actually good intentions and he's trying to help
Great
out.
intentions. Actually does really believe in Daenerys, loves her, like wants nothing but to help her, but it's these not little things, but these mistakes that keep getting made, and of course she's upset, and like you could easily think that, oh, he's colluding with his sister and brother. Like all throughout, Lannisters have been just there for each other, and this could be
because he's all like he's trying to also help not have them kill his brother either, and she's like, shut the fuck up. You're wrong in the past.
She's like, for all I know, this was all your guys' plan, was to send him to be my trusted advisor and then all of a sudden screw me over in the end.
And maybe kill her.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah. And then we go into where the blacksmiths, and you see Gendry and Arya staring at him from afar. Creepily. Checking out the sweaty muscles of his that you can only barely see.
She's like, look at him forge. He's such a good forger.
She's like, forge on. Do it, baby.
Forge my weapon.
And he's all like, oh, I haven't started.
That wasn't the weapon she was after, but...
She's all like...
Go up, sis.
But she's like also like asking him, what are these White Walkers? What do they do? What do they smell like?
Yeah.
And he's all like, they're just scary.
I mean, she's like she said, death has many faces. When you look at like the whole time she spent in Braavos, like you would go to the house of all those faces, and when you killed someone, you took a face. Like, and then you have actual walking death coming this way. It's completely different depictions. But is it all the same? I don't know. Maybe they'll dive into that.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But then he was kind of annoying me, and like, why aren't you like telling her, or is he like still trying to like possibly just protect her? Does he not see that she's changed? But
no,
like,
he didn't fight a White Walker. They put his ass on that horse and sent him back to the wall to send a raven to Daenerys.
Ran.
Yeah, he ran. When did he fight?
He was the fastest.
When did he fight? Exactly. How could he know? He can't give her a straight answer because he wasn't there. They put him on the horse and he ran back to the wall to get Daenerys and the dragons and all that.
Pretty much he's trying to seem like a badass, like, yeah, I fought them, but really I just ran away.
Like I seen them running in my direction and I had to dip.
I ran the opposite. But yeah.
But if it weren't for him, they'd all be dead, so.
It's true, they needed him because he was the fastest runner. Mm-hmm. Run, Forrest.
But, like, just say that then. Don't pretend like you fought them.
Yeah, but he's also trying to, like, you know, earn some points with Arya, but, like, obviously, he can't.
I don't know.
But then there's also finally we get the Jaime and Brienne reunion talk.
So interesting.
It is. Because he's all like, hey, thought you were going to throw me under the bus, but you didn't. Why not? And he's like, I'm not Brienne anymore.
Well, I mean, throughout the whole trial, he was like, we were at war. I don't apologize for anything I did. I would do it all again. And then the second he gets the Bran, he's like, I'm so sorry. I pushed you. Like, so that's probably the one thing he's actually sincerely apologetic for. And it's nice that he apologized. Bran could care less. He's like, if it wasn't for that, you would still be the old Jaime. You wouldn't be this that you are now.
Well, even when he was like, when they pushed him off the window, they even tried to kill him because he knew it was Jaime that pushed him off. So they went through a lot of things just to try to kill off Bran, but he survived. And I'm pretty sure he had all that guilt, and he thought, like, all this time that passed, he'd never survived, and that he was dead, but then surprised him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no one knows what happened to him after Winterfell was taken. They all thought that they were burned by, who was it, Theon? Yeah.
Yeah, when he took over. That jerk. But anyways. He's redeeming himself, so...
We'll see.
I know.
The second he volunteered to protect Bran, I was like, that fool is gonna jump out of the way.
He's gonna climb up the wall.
The second he sees the Night King or any of the White Walkers, and actually looks, he's gonna push the little wheelchair and dip the other way. Like, I'm like, really? That's who you want protecting you? The coward of Westeros?
Right,
like,
when he volunteered, I was like,
oh, is someone else gonna be with him? Someone else should be with him.
Right, someone stronger. I would be like, Arya, protect your little bro.
Not even that. Yara, where's she? She doesn't run.
That's true.
She didn't jump off a boat.
Yara's gone. She's on her own little island right now. She's like, I'm not gonna be there. Bye.
But still, I'm worried. If Theon's his only protection, God help him.
Well, I mean, the previews. We'll get to that later.
Well, yeah. There's also that.
But, like, also during that chat with Bran and Jaime, and he's all like, he's talking about, like, oh, after this whole thing's done, and he's like, why do you say there's going to be afterwards? How you know there's going to be an afterwards? And that spooked the shit out of him. But then I thought about, like, holy shit, what if there's no afterwards?
What do you know?
Right? I mean, because could be so many possibilities with the next episode. I mean, a lot of characters that we love are going to be, you know, dead. Gone, but not totally, because they could bring back, I mean, they come back alive but dead.
I mean,
come back dead.
Hopefully they just, I would hate to see that happen, like someone that they love and they have to sword fight, or I just hope that whoever dies, they just burn them right away, and then we don't have to see any of that. But it wouldn't be entertaining without seeing at least one battle between two people who love
and
each
then
other.
It won't be like, that's not the Game of Thrones way. I mean, you know, they're gonna brutally hurt you even more while watching this.
Oh yeah, I'm not prepared.
Not prepared at all. I mean, so many things are happening. I mean, Endgame, and now this.
It's like the greatest cinematic weekend, really, for television and film. And it's all happening this weekend.
Just give me a lot of emotions.
A lot of like, I'm already going to be emotionally fucked up after I watch Endgame, because I'm seeing that on Friday. And then you're going to hit me with some bullshit on Sunday?
I'm going in already crying. I'm already getting teary just thinking about Endgame, because some of my heroes are not coming back.
I don't know about all that. I don't read Endgame theory. I read Game of Thrones theories. They're all fucking me up.
There's so many theories. It's just crazy. I mean, there's the crypt theories. We'll get into that later. Oh, yeah. So it's like, what the hell's going on? But then you get also finally the Jaime and Brienne reunion. And pretty much he's all like, hey, I'm not a good fighter as I used to be. Yeah, I mean, come on, he only has one hand
anymore. Yeah.
And he's all like, I want to be like under your command.
I want to fight by your side. Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, he knows that she's the shit. Like, there's no denying.
She fought the Hound. And
she fought the Hound and won. She fought a fucking bear and won.
Right. She even like fought Jaime and she almost won, but they got interrupted.
Yeah. Like, that's kind of a cool friendship. I know everyone's kind of trying to ship them, but I really hope that they don't end up fucking, because it's just like, God, please can't we have like a platonic relationship that's actually chill? And like she said, like, why aren't you insulting me? Like, just
it's like, what the hell?
Playful banter.
Like, yeah, because she's all like, why is all these compliments coming? Like, when are you gonna get to that point? You're like, oh, you're stupid.
Because he's starting to realize that he really ain't shit, and that she's like a woman of honor, integrity. She has
everything that he was supposed to be,
that he is just not, and that hopefully he's aspiring to have now at this point. But she's just like a good woman,
right? That keeps her word, does everything like she promised.
Yeah, like protects everyone that she's sworn to, like with a vengeance.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it's like no one has stopped her yet.
Yeah. And I think that's what he admires most about her, is that she's just so vigilant in keeping her promises and her words and her honor. Even if she's not a knight, it's like she's just a good person. And he wasn't. He was a strong woman. He was a straight scumbag for a long time. So I think once he saw that how she was, he just kind of started to aspire to be more like her, hopefully.
Well, after everything that's like happened in his life, and he's been screwed over many times, that he's kind of getting over being screwed, and like everything is just coming back to him. That's why. Mm-hmm. So now he's seeing, and now since it's getting close towards the end, and he sees these monsters actually coming, and this could it's pretty much changing everyone's perspective in life for them. And they're like, hey, this could be literally the end. We don't know if we're all going to survive. So it's like, I should just, change up how I look at life and change who I am while I can, at least leave this world with some dignity,
Yeah. He only has one page in that little night book. He needs more pages with some good stuff in it.
Right. And then we have Jorah and Daenerys pretty much telling her to stop being a dick to Tyrion.
Jorah spent all that time with Tyrion before they even reached Daenerys, and like really saw that Tyrion was smart, could talk his way out of literally anything, and just knew that he's more of an asset to have than as a prisoner. And I mean, is Jorah really that strategic of a mind to really be handed the queen? He's always like tried to like keep her emotions in check and just kind of make good decisions. But as far as like war and strategy and things like that, I mean, obviously Tyrion made mistakes in those areas too, but is Jorah really the guy? Like, if Tyrion isn't?
Emotions get too much in the way with him because he's in love with her, and he's always going to be in love with her.
Yeah.
I believe.
But luckily he's not like that weird creepy love where he's just like, because he knows that that'll never happen. Yeah. So maybe he could just love her enough to like watch her be queen and prosper and just be awesome. But
because she loves him in a total different way. Like,
I always see her as more of like liking him like a father, almost like a father figure.
Like a figure for her, and like he's pretty much the only one that could tell her like, hey, like
maybe chill out
a little bit, check yourself. He's literally the only one that could get away with it, and she does respect everything he tells her.
And he knows that Tyrion's not like scheming behind her back, contrary to what her paranoia might think. Like he's a good person to have on your side. Like, chill. These are easy mistakes that he probably would have made too. Mm-hmm. But
you literally tell her like, everyone makes mistakes. You made mistakes when you killed off the, what's his name? The father and the son.
Oh, that wasn't a mistake. They deserve to die.
Yeah, but then it also kind of it backfired when she went to talk to Samuel. It's like, I'm sorry, I killed your family.
That information would have been made anyway. Now just Sam doesn't like her, and it's of no consequence to her, really. Those guys were idiots. True. And the dude's name was Dickon. Dickon. Like, are you that
Poor
upset
guy
that
didn't
he's
have a
dead?
chance in the world.
She did him a favor.
Right? Who wants that on their grave? So, and then also with Daenerys and Sansa, they finally have their little chit chat, and she's like, Sansa's like, oh, who was the guy before? She's like, someone taller, because Jon is short.
Oh God, I heard that they had to put like heels in his boots to make him either the same height or just a little bit taller than Emilia Clarke.
Yeah, probably, because he is short. I mean, I know Sansa's like always been tall, but
Sansa's like
she's
6'4".
like a freaking giraffe.
But no, I heard that they had to put little inserts into Kit Harington's boots so that he could be a bit taller.
Was he 5'2" or something?
No clue.
Kit Harington height. He's 5'8".
Shut up.
Yeah. Ah. So wait, how tall is Emilia?
Oh, she has to be like a little
nugget.
Unless
because she's wearing the heels.
Yeah, that too.
So, and he's all like, I have to wear too. She's 5'2". There's no way. Maybe because of boots.
Maybe it was just Sansa that he had to not be towered over.
Yeah. I think he has to wear like, the little, was it elevator shoes?
Platforms.
Those Spice Girls shoes.
Yeah.
Just to reach up to her eye contact.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, that whole conversation was good for Sansa to hear because she was under the impression that Jon was being manipulated. But then Dany kind of set her straight and was like, listen, like, I did not want to come here and fight the dead, but yet here I am because I realized that there's going to be nothing for me to rule if everyone's dead. So she's kind of telling her, like, who manipulated
Jon's
who.
war, and not her wars with Cersei.
Exactly. Because if she really, really wanted to, she could have blew the shit out of King's Landing, 2 seasons ago? Yeah.
She could have.
And she would have just been queen of that and then not really cared about the dead until she's seen them.
Because all she has to do is, like, go rogue with her dragons and fire that shit up without them knowing. And, like,
Pretty much.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, but she got a little more strategic, fell in love with Jon. That whole thing.
Yeah, and they fucked.
Pretty much. But yeah, like I said, they just had horrible timing this whole episode when they get interrupted because Sansa did tell her, like, we weren't going to bow to anyone. Even after all this, we're still not. Like, what's going to happen to the North? Nice. And Dany's ego is so big that she's going to be like, well, I'm your queen.
But she doesn't even need the North.
She doesn't need the North, but, like her ego is gigantic.
She just wants to have everyone say, like, yeah, I am her queen.
She's like, bitch, I'm ruler of the 7 kingdoms, not the 6 kingdoms.
But when she becomes the ruler of the 7 kingdoms, if she ever going to go to the North and be like, hey, what's up?
Never.
Respect.
That's why Sansa just... Basically, that was Sansa throwing it down and saying, like, we want to be left alone. We don't want anything to do... North. Yeah, leave us alone. I
mean, honestly, nothing's that great in the North. I mean, look at the people.
No. Yeah, it'll be...
I
wish they would have just finished that conversation.
Right? Because, like, she was all, like, being buddy-buddy, holding hands, and when she said, what about the North? And, like, her hand just backed off. It was like, what
because she has no intention of letting go of the North. She has zero intention of letting them be sovereign over themselves. She wants to rule everything. And that's just, like, that crazy Targaryen ego that she has, you know?
Mm-hmm. So that was pretty, like...
That was interesting. That's a cool combo to continue if they end up surviving all this.
I think Sansa may survive.
Oh,
she's gonna be hidden somewhere in the crypt, so she's not gonna be nowhere near.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. But then also finally after that, Theon comes like, "Hey, here to fight with you guys," even though like almost took your home from you.
That was a super interesting moment for me because I think at that time even Daenerys was like, "Oh, I have 0 pool up here." Like they love Sansa the way everyone else in every other country, all the slaves that she freed and everything, they loved Daenerys. Mm-hmm. But they don't love her like that in the North. Not for anything.
Well,
but they love Sansa that way.
Of their families. Mm-hmm. So.
But she's starting to see, like, these Northerners will do anything. They'll die for her. They'll do anything she says because they genuinely love her. She will never have that kind of love in the North. Never.
But who knows, after this war, they may change their mind.
Doubt it.
Probably.
Not over Sansa. I don't know. That was just a real interesting moment because even she was kind of giving them both side eye because Theon was just looking at Sansa so longingly and he was like, I came to fight for you. And he tells it to Sansa. He doesn't say it to Dany. He's like, I came to fight for you. Yeah. So that was kind of like...
Well, then, and even, like, Dany was just like,
what the shit?
But then she doesn't know what they went through. All the brutal mutilation from...
the Boltons.
So it's like, they have that connection to each other.
I mean, Theon even said it to Dany. She's like, oh, well, my sister went to go take the Iron Islands in your name. She's like, but I'm here for Sansa, and I don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Pretty much threw that in her face, but like even Dany's like, "Where's your sister?" Yeah. Like, what do you mean she like, left?
Where's my girlfriend? What the fuck?
And then she's probably thinking, "Is that even important for her to go over there?" Because she took some ships and people.
I mean, there are no ships in the North. You don't need ships up there.
They had to leave them somewhere. Yeah. But after that,
it was just an interesting moment to me. It was a lot more underneath than than Theon just coming back.
Mm-hmm. And then you get the, let's see, what was next after that? We have, like, also the war room.
That whole plan?
Yeah. Well, Tommen and all the other people come from that castle from the last episode where it has been invaded by the White Walkers. And they said they went around them, but they're coming. They're going to be here by dawn. Mm-hmm. And I loved how he, like, pretty much, like, tackled him. Is hilarious. I was like, oh, I'm gonna hug this guy, but
I mean, even he said anyone who's not here yet is fighting for the dead now, and that even includes that weird little family that was like, oh, we're just gonna stay here and wait it out. We'll be fine. Their asses are dead. Everyone at Last Hearth is dead. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even that little boy that was screaming in the wall. Well, he's totally gone. He was burned.
Oh, nah, he dead.
He did. But then, like, so then they start gathering around for the war room. And trying to plan a strategic way what they can do to defeat the White Walkers. And
they pretty like we said last week, the only way that this works out is if they kill the Night King. Yeah. And they're gonna try and use Bran as bait, and it's kind of weird that they're just kind of taking his word for it.
Yeah. Well, Bran just literally just throws the bomb on them, saying, "Oh, he's coming for me. He can track me. I wear his like little mark," and they're all like,
and no
pretty much is all like. No one's questioning
this. He's like, oh, I have all the memories of man. And no one's like, when the fuck did that happen? How is this happening?
Can you please explain to me?
He's tried to kill other three-eyed ravens. And I'm like, okay. Because he pretty much wants to wipe out the entire human race. Now we know his intentions. But like.
Because he pretty much just throws words out there. And everyone's just like, what the fuck did he just say? Is this real, what he's saying?
Yeah, so they're going to use him as a little bait.
When the fuck were you going to tell us that you wear his mark and he could track you down? And it's like, why couldn't they, like, he tell them, like, hey, let's move you, you know?
Yeah, they would just need another three-eyed raven. That's fine. Yeah. Just go get another one.
But he's not the only one with the background history, because he has Samuel as well, who's been reading up on that library shit.
Yeah, but he doesn't have special powers.
No.
He's just, I mean, if you go to any maester in Westeros, I'm sure they could tell you the same type of history, because that's all they do. They just read.
That's true. But why Bran? Because he
didn't need to read to
he
know
don't
all
need
that
to
info.
read, but he could see that, but he could barely even figure out his own powers. Like, he doesn't even know he could go back in time to a certain spot unless someone tells him. You know? He's like, oh, really? Let me go check that out.
Maybe we'll find the true extent of his powers by the end of the season. But right now, he's just kind of chilling. He can see the past. He's not really doing too much in the future.
Yeah, and then Theon's going to
protect him. With his bodyguard, Theon. Lord. I
like how, like, everyone's like, okay, I agree. It's like, why are you agreeing to this?
Because Yara's not there to be like, this is a bad idea. You know what this fucker did to me?
Right. It's true. But also... Well, Sansa will still back him up no matter what.
Yeah.
But then Jon, he could be like, no, I don't trust you. Because he did turn his back on him.
I mean, the whole little speech he gave, he's like, I took Winterfell from you, it would be my honor. So now he's kind of trying to redeem himself. So no one's going to question a man trying to find his own redemption. Like, that's why
everyone is redeeming themselves on this episode.
Yeah. And it's, oh, God, it's just going to be so bad.
Right. It is our last night anyways to redeem themselves. And
pretty much.
And I love how Tyrion's all like, hey, we're stuck in this castle. Tell me what happened to you. He's like, it's a long story. It's like, just tell me I'm here.
And that would be really cool if, like, Tyrion finds some shit out that could help them, but I don't really see...
Well, that's the only thing smart with Tyrion. He's like, he takes the time and be like, hey, what's wrong with this guy? Because no one's asking him more questions. They just look at him, and then they're like in disbelief,
okay, sure.
and then they walk away.
Yeah.
No one's actually asking
but
questions.
But I think Tyrion will probably go back and be like, listen, do you know what happened to this guy? Like, do you know what he could actually do?
This shit's real.
Pretty much.
But yeah. But then after you also have the Night Watch reunion, and then all of a sudden Ghost pops out of nowhere.
I asked last week, I said, where the fuck is Ghost?
Right?
And he was just there he was just being a good boy the whole time.
I'm like, did they leave him beyond the wall and they just never...
No, I guess he was with the Night's Watch the whole time, but when the Night's Watch came to Winterfell, he came with, and he...
But I like how Jon just leaves him wherever.
They probably needed him more,
but
you know?
It's like, I don't know if he was meant to be right there. It felt like they just, CGI sticked him right there. It's like, oh, wait. Where is Ghost? Let's just put him right there. Because he was just, like, in an awkward area. And, like, no one was acknowledging, like, hey.
Because he's just a good little boy. And he's not going to interrupt. He's just going to be a good boy and just stand there. And all the CGI budget was spent on the dragon. So they can't really make him do much anyway.
That's true. But there was no dragons in this episode this time.
I just meant throughout the whole season.
True. This was their only CGI.
Them bitches are expensive.
Maybe that's why. They're like, oh, we don't have dragons in this episode. No CGI.
We could put the dog.
Let's put the dog in. I mean, we need to pay these people anyways. They're on the contract.
Everyone's worried about where Ghost is. I saw some funny Ghost memes. They
like
were
that
actually
meme that
really
you sent
cute.
me? Just by the doorway. Hey, guys.
Great week for memes.
But yeah, I was just happy to see Ghost. I'm like, hey, there he is.
I was like, because I was like, I asked where he was, and he's right there.
Now, where is he going to be in the next episode?
He better not fucking die in this battle, or I'm going to be so pissed.
Put him in the damn crypts where it's safe, apparently.
It's not safe in the crypts.
It's not safe anywhere. Just have him do what Arya did and tell him to go.
Just go and get some dick and accept your fate.
Right.
That's all you can do.
But that was the biggest, happiest moment for me. I'm like, Ghost is back.
Me too. I always love
God.
seeing a man and his dog.
Right. And then you have, like, the kickback fire where everyone's just huddling together in front of the fireplace.
What a cute moment.
Right? It brought me back memories when I used to hang out with my friends in front of a fire pit and drink.
Pretty much. And I mean, you needed all these, like, good-hearted, warm, fuzzy feeling moments because, like I said, they're just going to wreck us. Mm-hmm. So this was kind of like a nice little respite before the madness. And yeah, you had some really good moments in front of the fire.
Yeah.
Some funny-ass moments.
Honey. Oh, I love that part when Tormund comes back. He's like, is the big woman still here? That was, like, the best. Ugh, I love him so much that I'm afraid for him in this
I'm afraid
episode.
for him, too. No,
I don't want him to go.
I was laughing because he's like, do you know why they call me Giant Spain? And I really thought it was going to be, like, a dick joke. And
right?
It totally was.
It sounded like literally
it sounded like a dick joke. But thank God he just gave us, like, that golden story of drinking giant's milk.
Yeah. He killed the giant, found the giant's wife, and the giant's wife thought who was a little baby, and he suckled on her tip for giant's milk. And that's why he's so strong.
That's why I'm so strong. And when you think about it, he is kind of oddly strong, even just more than any other wildling I've ever seen. I mean,
it's true. That milk did a body good.
That giant's milk did the body. I mean, he was about to get his ass tore up in the Battle of the Bastard. I seen him, like, almost drawing and quartering him, and he still survived. So
right.
Yeah, that dude does have some extra strength. And whether it's giant's milk or just having to live out in the snow in the fucking mountains for his whole life, whatever. It works.
He did do a total Joey Tribbiani Friends, where he's like, I could chug a milk under a minute, and he just drinks that milk and just going.
But everywhere. What milk is it? Because there's no more giants. So I'm like, whose milk are you chugging? Like,
I know. That's the only thing I'm like, what milk is that? Is that milk? Or?
It's not giant's milk. It looked like milk.
Yeah, it looked like milk, but it's like, what kind of milk is it? It's like, where are the other giants?
What other fucking animals are you milking? Like,
he just has them in stock. He just places them everywhere where he needs that boost of energy.
For real. I don't know.
But yeah, and then like, it's just so awkward for Brienne. And she just has Jaime on one side and Tormund on the other.
Because Tormund kind of knows that like her and Jaime are friends and
close.
Kind of have a thing. So he's trying to like break that
Bringing
up
out the big dick and be like, hey, this
is my woman.
Yeah.
And you know what? Awesome for Tormund, toppling the patriarchy. Like, he might be a savage and a wildling and all these other weird things, and they look down on him when he's the one who's like the most woke. He's like, why can't a woman be a knight?
Right.
Because across the wall, men and women were completely equal. Like, they all did the same work. They all knew like survival was most important, and it didn't matter what you were, man or woman, that you all were in it together.
Well, in his little people, that's how it was.
Yeah,
but others
that's why.
you get the same with the other kingdoms, but yet the women were still.
And I'm like, and you guys have the audacity to look down on him because he's a wildling.
Right.
I'm like, when he's really like the coolest one.
It's true.
He's like the
only thing he just can't read.
He's a total feminist. He really
right? Especially for his woman. But yeah, I just love that. He's all like, if I was king, I would totally knight you 10 times
over. I don't think he meant knight though, but
yeah,
sure. Whatever.
Right. He totally lay her 10 times over. But yeah, and she's like, yeah, like, I can't be knighted. It's like, that's just unheard of. And then finally, Jaime redeeming himself and trying to be that
doing something
guy.
decent.
He's like,
finally.
you don't need a king to be knighted. It's like,
you just need
a knight, and I'm a knight. Do you want this or not?
I don't know if he did it because he was actually being genuine, or if he did it because he thought that they were all going to die anyway and it wouldn't matter. And I hope it's not the latter, but it's kind of one of those things where if they do all die, it's really not going to matter. It's just giving her last few minutes of happiness before shit goes down.
That's true. Well, he is giving her like her dream, and it's like he doesn't even know either like if any of them are going to survive, so why not, why not give her
and
this
I hope it came
thing
from a place of like good.
I think it did, because they have like a strong connection. They both respect each other.
Yeah, but does he really respect her enough to, like, let's say everyone lives, everyone is super happy, is he gonna like, is she still gonna be a knight?
Well, even like whenever one is alive, before they knew even the White Walkers, he still gave her like a lot of respect.
Oh well, yeah, but you can still respect a woman and still think that you're like a little above her. Like,
that's true.
Guys are nice to girls all the time. It doesn't mean that they think we're equal.
That's true. But they
just
like,
want to fuck.
Brienne is the only other woman in his life
who's not a complete psychopath.
So,
I mean, can you imagine? Poor Jaime, just the only girl he's ever loved, and it's Cersei. So he probably thinks that that's normal when it really isn't.
Yeah.
That's probably why he likes Brienne so much.
Because she's actually nice.
Yeah, and Cersei's a bitch, and she lies like constantly, and she's just gross.
Pretty much. She'll fuck anything.
Lord.
But then after that, you also get the Hound and Arya. I was hoping that there would be more, but then here comes what's his name, and kind of like cockblocks him. It's like, let's see what they're gonna talk, because I wanted to hear more of their conversation. But then she was like pretty much over it after.
She's like, I'm late for my dick appointment. I gotta dip.
Pretty much.
No, I mean, her and the Hound had a cute little moment of
drinking together.
Yeah.
One sip.
And she kind of lets him know that like she doesn't hate him anymore, kind of like.
Yeah. And then she's like, why are you here? What the fuck, man?
Yeah. And he even asked her, like, is he on your list? And she was like, he was.
He was, but not anymore.
There's no point. He sold her friend.
Yeah.
At this point, yeah, there really isn't. But like,
because she's not gonna go and protect him.
Back then, if she would have ran into Beric, she would have murked him, because he sold Gendry for what, like a bag of gold?
Yeah. But it could still change. I mean, she could be like, yeah, you're off my list for now because there's big war coming, so we need as many,
Yeah.
So, because she's not dumb when it comes to, like, when there's a war coming.
Yeah. And I mean, she's got her dude back anyway. I'm sure that's water
She's
under
got
the
her
bridge.
dude. She pretty much has him under control, under her thumb. So.
She just has this big dick energy, and I love it.
Right? Okay, let's get into that next scene with Arya and Gendry. God, that was awesome, because he's like, okay, she's doing her own thing. She like,
ran the Carfax on him.
Pretty much. And, like, she's just, doing her bow and arrow stuff. And then he's, like, looking at her from behind. And then she's like, oh, hi. I knew you would come.
Just in time.
Right? And then she's like, how many women did you fuck?
Pretty much. And I'm like, oh, my God. I'm like, girl, stop. You're going psycho. You're going psycho
right?
girlfriend on him. Girl, you can't do that.
And how'd she know that Melisandre was...
The red woman. Oh,
yeah.
Because that's who Beric sold him to. She sold him to. That's why she was like, what did the red woman want with you? And then...
So, like, leeches and his dick.
Yeah. Pretty much she tricked him, that bitch.
And then he's like, okay, how many after that?
But then when you really break it down, she wasn't asking just to see, like, who are the other girls. She was asking to be like, does he have experience or not? Because if not, then I'm going to go to someone who
then
has
fuck,
more
then this is going to be awkward. Go find Podrick.
Two virgins fucking is just going to be, no.
Yeah.
You know?
But even if he wasn't as experienced, she's going to, like, take control of that situation anyways.
I mean, she did. And it's kind of weird to see, but then at the end of the day, it's like, even hardcore killers need to get laid sometimes too, and she's just embracing her sexuality. And
she doesn't know she's going to live either, so she's like, you know what, I'm not going to leave this
she's
world
not
a virgin.
one-dimensional. She's also a sexual being, and she needs to get it on, and who better?
And
who
everyone
better?
was so awkwardly watching it. They're like,
girl, I'm not even gonna lie, like, as pro woman and sexuality as I am, I'm like, oh my God, like, I was like, with the rest of the world, I had to Google how old she was. I wanted to report myself for child pornography. I was like, they're not gonna show her actual tits, are they? And then they got like a little side boob. I'm like, oh, thank God they didn't
side boob and some butt
thank
crack,
God there was no nipple. Thank God there was no nipple.
I was like, please not full frontal. Please not full frontal. I am not ready to see this little girl.
And then I even had a friend text me and be like, I wish they would have just cut it off after the kiss or whatever. I'm like, no, they needed to show her dominating just to show,
right?
like.
She's not a little girl anymore.
She totally topped him, for sure.
She's like, take off your pants because I'm not going to do it.
No.
I'm not the red woman.
For sure she pegged him, at least. Like, she just had this big dick energy, like, big dick energy. And I loved it. Like, looking back, in the moment, I was like, oh. No, don't do it.
I know. I was like this.
I was like, she's a baby. Stop it. But she's really not.
She's not. She's actually like, what, 22 now?
Yeah. But in the show, it's 18. Yeah.
I mean, 18, that's pretty much how most people...
She's killed how many people and has yet to fuck one? She's due.
She deserved this.
Yeah, she totally deserved it.
The D.
Totally deserved it. Like, how are you going to kill
And she got to pick the guy who she wanted, and she didn't get raped.
She wasn't fucking raped, at least. I mean, she totally was like, take your pants off, but...
Yeah, you are the chosen one.
It's not like he was resisting either.
No.
So...
Well, he was at first place. She's like, no, you're going to do it. And he's like, okay.
I think he just wanted to make sure that, like, he wasn't taking advantage of her.
There's no way you can take advantage of her.
He was just, no. Fuck no. She'd kill you. But I think he just wanted to make sure that she, like, knew what she wanted and wasn't just, he was being nice. He was being a good guy. Consent is important.
Right.
Consent is super important.
But then I thought, like, because, like, okay, it goes into song, and of course they're going to show everyone. And then when they...
God, how sad was that?
Yeah, it was so sad. But when they show Arya and Gendry in bed and, like, laying down and he's, like, passed out.
He was knocked the fuck out because he put in work.
I was like, wait, did she kill him?
No,
but
she probably just wrote it.
But she looks like she looks so bored in the face.
No, not bored. I think she's just contemplating that, like, okay, I could go down. I could go die now.
Just like, I'm done.
That whole little montage reminded me of, like, the scenes at the end of Titanic when the water's filling and then you have the couples crying on the bed and it's, like, right before they die. I'm like, oh my God.
The couple and the mother and the children, you're like, no.
When they're all just about to die and I'm like, that's what this fucking montage looks like. They're just showing me everyone like in these loving embrace moments before they die, before the ship goes
showing
down.
everyone that you love truly on the show, and then you're like, man, all these people are not gonna
any
survive.
happy ending, any happiness that we saw is just gonna be. There are no happy endings. Arya and Gendry don't grow old together. Like, I mean, Sam and Gilly probably don't grow old together.
We learned this in the Red Wedding. No one survives. No one's safe.
No one's happy. Yeah.
And who knows what's gonna happen after Sunday. And I forgot this one scene with Jorah and Lady Mormont.
The little bear. I was surprised because he was in exile, so I didn't think she would acknowledge him at all. But she's a badass. She's like, I'm not going to sit in the crypts. I'm going to fight.
I know. But it's like, dude, listen to your older cousin.
But at least she was chill. She wished him good fortune. She doesn't want him to die, regardless of any... I mean, all the other Mormonts totally read him off. And you can kind of tell that nothing from the past is really all that important anymore. That's why she was able to kind of just be the bigger person.
If she goes, he's going to be the next ruler for the bear.
You think so? Oh, I guess.
Because who else is
for House Mormont?
Because she brought everyone from her.
All 62 men.
Yeah, all 62 men. And there they all go, and he's just going to be there in that castle alone.
I mean, she's just a badass. She's just so wise beyond her years, like, to even have that level of maturity. If I were 9 years old, I'd be like, fuck you. I hope you die. Like, I know what you did.
I'm going to go hide somewhere or run away.
I'm going to go dip.
I'll be in the bush.
Yeah, exactly. And she's just like, I'm not letting anyone fight my battle for me. She's a true ruler. A true ruler.
And I don't think she's going to survive. I want her to survive, but she's so lovable and super respected on this show that she's going to be the one that's gone, sadly.
I will be so pissed if she dies.
I mean, it's probably going to happen. I don't know. Game of Thrones is like that.
For real. They give you moments like that to kind of foreshadow who's going to die. So, like, they didn't need to have that scene with Lyanna and Jorah. And they put it in there because one of them's going to die.
Yeah, one of them's going to die. And I don't think it's...
I don't know. I think it would hurt Daenerys more to have Jorah die.
Yeah. Because that's like kind of
like her protector. And it's like, how are they going to hurt us? How are they going to... What's the worst thing that they could do to us?
Everything. I don't know. There's so many things like I could say, but like I don't want them to be true.
Exactly.
So I don't want to jinx it. Even though it's already written and shot and all that stuff, and
I'm just not ready.
Do anything. And then like... bad timing always with Jon Snow.
He's such a dummy.
He can't hold on to something that can wait.
This could have waited.
This could have waited way after. And it doesn't even need to be revealed because we don't even know if either of them are going to survive. So even if, like, for say, like, either Daenerys dies or Jon, there've been no point even telling that.
But I mean, he's always had to tell people the truth, like no matter what.
But he has bad timing.
Terrible timing.
Like we're gonna go into war. Why are you telling us now? And now she's gonna have this in the back of her mind.
And she's fucking pissed.
She is pissed. That's why when I sent you that meme of Bran in
the burning wheelchair. She is upset, and like. There wasn't even time for Jon to be like, I don't want the Iron Throne. Like I'm not gonna claim it. They left her hanging like that.
It's like, why couldn't you say that even so?
Because fuck them. Because that's what they did.
Like, the horn came up, and he's like, hey, I don't want the throne.
He's like, BT Dub, don't worry about this. Like, I'm not going to go for... The throne is yours. Keep the fucking throne.
Right?
Maybe he'll just be like, I won't claim the Iron Throne. I won't try and lay claim to it if you just give me the North. Like, just let me and my Northerners live.
He could use that as a trade-off. Be
like,
hey, Sansa,
exactly.
We're going to keep the North
but also,
just as long as I don't take the throne.
Exactly. But also, how serious is she really going to take him? Is she just going to fuck him up at the end of it all?
She does have the trust issues.
She does have trust issues, and also she wants to rule the 7 kingdoms. She doesn't want to rule 6 kingdoms. So she's going to be like, no, everything is mine, and if you go against me, then... he's going to need an army. She has an army, and they're just going to go at it and see who lays claim to the Iron Throne. I don't think they're going to get all that done in 4 episodes, but we'll see what happens. I don't think there's going to be too much of a power grab there, even though his true lineage has been revealed.
Yeah. But even still, even he has to tell his other siblings who he really is, and how is Sansa gonna take that shit? I mean, because you know how she is. She's all like, "What the fuck," you know?
God, who cares?
But you know how she is. Yeah. She'll put things as like...
Maybe she'll try and convince him and be like, well, then you're the rightful king. Like, go get it. And
that's
of course,
true.
John, that's so not him. He's not meant
She's going to push him into be like, dude, do this for the family. You owe this to the family.
Or maybe just to push him to like, well, then claim the North. Just keep the North. That's all they want.
Yeah. But then it's like, also, if they do survive this, I mean, he was already on like a thin line with the people of the North anyways, because he stand down.
Because he bent the knee.
He bent the knee. And then when he reveals, when it comes out that, oh, he's a Targaryen, what the fuck's gonna happen? People are gonna flip their shit.
They're gonna want him to go and rule the Iron Throne.
I don't know.
And all that. I don't know.
I don't think they would want him to rule. They're like, fuck, another Targaryen, you know?
I mean, but he's so not...
But people are not...
king.
The northern people are not that smart.
and unforgivable. Mean, they wanted him in the first place. Maybe just keeping him as king of the North is good enough. There have been people that relinquish their crowns and just go in off to like the Brotherhood, or they end up being knights like Jaime. Yeah. Maybe he'll do that. Maybe he'll just like surrender all claims to the crown.
He'll be a knight, or either he'll just be killed.
Or marry Dany. Rule it together. Be cute. Fuck.
She doesn't want to rule together. She just wants to be
Then let her rule. I mean, really think about it. Like, anytime there's a king and queen who's really got this shit dialed in, it's usually the woman.
Right. We already saw that with Cersei.
Yeah, for real. What good was Robert Baratheon?
All he did was fucking eat.
and get hit by fucking boar.
Mm-hmm. What a way to die. By a pig. But after all that happened, what do you think is gonna happen? Like, we saw the preview. They didn't really give us much. I mean, you see the Night King coming and the whole army.
No, you don't, girl.
I mean, you don't see the Night King. You see like the White Walkers.
Yeah. Where is he?
He's in the back on the top of a mountain.
You think so?
No, he's riding that dragon. That's what he is.
Yeah, doing. But where, girl? You didn't hear the dragon screech. You didn't hear any wind. You didn't hear nothing. He is nowhere in that vicinity. Where the fuck is he?
He could be still around the wall area or something.
He's not at the Godswood. He's where... I want to fucking know. I'm like, where is he?
He probably is already in the Godswood. He's just hiding.
I mean, they would have seen him in the Godswood. A huge blue dragon is not hard to find. I don't think he's there.
Well, he has control of the dragon, so he probably has him somewhere, and she's already somewhere in the castle.
Girl, I don't know I don't know if he's even going to be there. I don't know if this whole bait and switch is going to be a good plan. He might not even show up.
You never know. I mean, he could, like...
There's a
he
theory.
Could appear later when pretty much, you know how towards the end where everyone's like, oh my god, this is the end.
Yeah.
Or you think maybe, oh, they're winning. They're going to make it. But then here he comes with the fucking dragon.
I read a theory where he's actually on his way to King's Landing to fuck up Cersei and bring an army of the dead from the south to fuck everything up. I mean, he's one-up them in every which way possible.
That's true. He probably already got Yara.
He probably has Yara. He on his way to go get Cersei and all the people of King's Landing, and then just do like this huge White Walker sandwich, and no one lives.
That's gonna be hard with the the last episodes that we have, because after this it'll be what, 3 or 2? 3. And then for them to go back and forth what the king's doing to Cersei. But then we also had our full episode with the North, with Winterfell, so maybe she'll have her own episode and see. I mean, the episodes are going to be longer now.
Yeah.
So.
But, I mean, still, like...
Is this really hard? And then I did a poll. Who's going to survive? So, that was pretty interesting. I mean... Oh, motherfuckers. It didn't say. Bitches. Anyways, a lot of you think that Daenerys is going to survive. Theon is not going to survive. Everyone put 100% no on him.
I think he's going to die in battle or somehow with, like, some honor,
he's
know?
Gonna fall.
Like a like a sacrifice. Because he's been such a bitch, like, for the past however many seasons. Yeah, for most of the seasons, he's been just like this little twat. So to finally give him, like, a good ending, that's probably what's going to happen. Just
an honorable ending,
torn apart by White Walkers or something, trying to protect Bran.
Either he's going to stand between the Night King and Bran if the Night King shows up, and then he just takes it for Bran. Who knows?
Who knows?
They say Sansa is gonna survive.
Oh, she's gonna survive. She lived through all that bullshit. She's gonna live through this too.
Also from people.
She's the only one I'm 100% about.
Yeah. And then they say Arya is gonna survive. People want Arya to survive.
Well, they want her to, but she also had a gushing head wound in the preview, so who knows what happens to her.
Who knows? But then there's also theories that she is the one that's supposed to kill off the Night King. Who knows? With her special weapon. I don't know how. I mean,
they make up so much shit.
Yeah, but she can do a pretty good sneak attack, so who knows? She's quiet as a mouse.
That's true. She snuck up in the Godswood. Maybe she'll sneak up in the Godswood again.
Yeah.
Death has many faces, and she wants to meet this one,
You
bitch.
know what's gonna happen? What if she tries to be Bran and just gets him?
That would be sick. But also, like,
I don't think she would kill off Bran. I think she'll get like a similar face.
Yeah.
Or like
they
he's turned away.
She
from
even
the
said,
King.
she said, I'm excited to see this face of death. They made a big deal, even though it's not that serious, about her sneaking up on Jon in the Godswood. She's probably going to sneak up on that motherfucker in the Godswood, look him in the fucking face, and then take it.
She could sneak up on him, or she's going to be the one that's like, oh, let me be in the wheelchair, put Bran somewhere behind the tree.
Yeah.
And then when he turns her around, she's going to be, psych, bitch.
That would be so sick.
With her Valyrian steel and Dragonstone.
But she looked busy in the preview. Like, she looked busy. I don't know how she's going to get to the Godswood that quick.
Who knows? I mean,
that would be pretty sick if that did happen.
That's the only thing I think
it literally all just came to me right now.
All that shit.
All of it.
I'm like, wait, but she's smart and sneaky. So
yes, and she said she wanted to meet Death. Who else? Who better?
The Night King is Death,
or one of the faces of Death.
One of.
Where's Chuck and Haggard? Why isn't he fighting?
I know he gave her that creepy. He gave off that creepy smile when she went off.
Valar Morghulis, bitch, where are you?
I don't know. They're all gone, or maybe they're already there, but they're just in different faces. They're just gonna be like, "Hey, I'm here."
Mm-hmm.
For sure, everyone's saying, like, Gendry's not gonna survive. He's gonna be dead.
I hope.
He's gonna be dead.
Dude, I mean, they had to give us that moment between him and her so that way they could just take it away from us.
Yeah, you're gonna have that young love being separated and torn apart.
Nothing less. They said it themselves. They
say Bran is gonna survive.
Yeah.
Tormund was a 50-50.
Ooh, that's rough. I hope he doesn't die.
I don't want him to die, but they said, like, if he was a 50-50. They say Brienne is gonna,
Ooh, I think she's gonna die.
Yeah, they said that she was gonna die. Jaime 100% die.
I don't know, because there's that whole prophecy.
Yeah, with the knight.
The Valonqar. No, the one, Cersei's prophecy that she would be killed by the Valonqar, which is the translation for little brother. She always thought it was Tyrion. She always thought it was Tyrion, so that's why she was such a bitch. But Jaime was born after her, so technically he's her little brother too. And I think that throughout the whole time, the first time I heard that prophecy, I thought that he was going to be the one to kill her in the end.
It's true, since now that he
I don't think he's gonna die until he gets to her. So we'll see.
Yeah, a lot of people say Jon will survive, Tyrion will survive, Grey Worm not gonna survive.
Oh God, no, because they gave us that moment with him and Missandei, so of course he's not gonna survive. Mm-mm. Because they were happy.
They say Lady Mormont not gonna survive. Jorah,
I think he'll die.
Yeah, I think he's gonna die. I don't remember if he was gonna die or survive, but I do think he's just the lovable characters always die. Samwell, they say that he's gonna survive.
He's gonna survive.
The Hound, they said no.
He's gonna die.
But I guess we're not gonna get the Mountain and the Hound.
That was never really, predicted or anything like that. The Mountain's dead.
Is he?
Well, not dead. He's like zombie dead.
It's true.
He's not even his real self anymore.
Well, he's not a White Walker, that's for sure.
Yeah, like any animosity that... The only time the Mountain ever feels something is when Cersei tells him to. So, like, why... I don't think they would ever come to that.
Yeah. They say, what's her name?
Missandei.
Missandei. They say she is going to die. because she's all like, I want to see the ocean again.
Anytime you have any future plans, you dead.
Right? And, like, for her, I believe they're going to, like, focus on her death, and she's like, I see the ocean. And,
God. Don't give me that moment, please. I'm begging you.
You know they're going to give them that one moment with each other lasting. Maybe they both die next to each other.
Oh, God.
You know, a lot of films and series, they always do that one couple.
My heart's breaking just thinking about it.
And, what's his name?
Varys.
Varys, they said,
he'll live.
He's gonna live. The,
Sir Davos.
They say he's gonna die. She's gonna live. Samwell's chick.
Gilly.
They say he's gonna die. In the
Beric?
Beric.
Oh, yeah, because he can't come back.
Mm-hmm. Beric, and then...
That is Beric.
Yeah, Beric and...
I don't know that dude's name. He's greasy. That's all
one
I
of
know.
the Night Watch, he's gonna die. And Podrick... People want him to survive, but...
I want Pod to survive.
I don't know if he's gonna die or not.
No, because we like him too much. Mm-hmm. So, of course, they're gonna fucking kill him.
And when I put up... Ghost, everyone's like, he's gonna survive 100%. No one doesn't want him to go.
If they kill him, I don't even know what I'll do with myself. I'm just tired of them killing off all these lovable animals.
Yeah, and then I put the last 2 dragons, and they said they're gonna survive.
We'll see.
So that was the poll. And what else? Okay. What was weird about this episode, everyone kept talking about the crypt. Something's going to happen.
Think about it. Really, you're going to fight an entire army of dead people that has the power to raise dead people, and then you're saying that the area with the dead people is the safest place? Like, I don't see it.
They're saying, like, with the crypt, there was so many theories. One of them, the Night King's going to go down in the crypt and raise the dead.
Of course.
Other one is because there's another theory of Winterfell being on top of this, what's it called? There's, for some reason, underneath the crypt, it's always warm. Mm-hmm. And they don't know why, and they're saying there's a theory that there's a sleeping dragon. Because there's dragon eggs under there.
Oh, that one of the graves has dragon eggs. I heard that theory.
And then, Jon Snow's mother's crypt, there's supposedly like a harp that awakes dragons.
Well, it's Rhaegar's harp.
Yeah, Rhaegar's harp.
We'll see.
I don't know about that whole harp. Bringing that in right now, it's like, really, you're gonna just
bring this random ass harp on us?
Who's gonna we're gonna get like some chick? Oh, there's a harp. Let me play it while there's a battle happening.
I don't know. I'm not like excited to see Ned Stark's bones try and fight people.
Well, his body's not there.
Yeah, they are.
Is it?
They brought the bones back.
They did?
Mm-hmm.
They brought his...
Not his head. Not his head. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's just going to be a pile of bones with no head.
All right. No head.
Can you imagine? No, but then I saw, like, with that whole theory, someone semi-shut it down because they were like, well, no, in the books, the Starks are buried with their swords, and their swords have spells that keep them from being risen from the dead. So maybe like Starks won't rise, but crypts are crypts, and there's a shit ton of dead people in there. And there's a little, I don't know if it was like a spoiler or something, but Daenerys in the previews was like, the dead are already here. And I'm like, okay, you're kind of stating the obvious.
Yeah, they see them from the hillside.
But maybe she meant like the dead are already here inside underneath the crypts because we fucked up, you know? Like, why would she say that unless, like,
what would trigger her to say that right now? And it's like, why are you telling us now? But then, like, you know,
we heard the horns. We could clearly see them. It's because something else is there.
They saw something, probably.
Yeah, that's probably why Arya's running all terrified through the crypts and shit. She has to get everybody out. She's probably their only source of protection.
Maybe, but, like, who attacked her?
Probably
and what attacked her?
Probably Lyanna. Shoot. Probably her family members.
Probably. Like, what would spook her the most to see her attack her?
Her father. But
there's no head, probably. Yeah. So her mother, maybe.
Oh, Catelyn is down there. You're right. Even Rob's down there, too.
That would probably freak her out even more because she hasn't seen him since.
Did they get the bones back from the Red Wedding?
I'm not sure. I I don't know, because
the Freys are assholes. I don't see them giving back the bones. That's something I would have to look
unless
up.
later they did, but maybe it's just like, maybe it's sacred that they have to, you know? Probably in that time, like, hey, you have to.
They killed him at a wedding. There's nothing sacred.
It's true.
They said it themselves. Like, you invite them into your home, and then you like, only a scumbag does that.
Who would be?
I mean,
who she's most afraid of?
She's actually seeing like the army of the dead for the first time. That could also be why she's super freaked out with a gaping head wound.
Something has to really like. I don't think strike her. I don't think it has to be like, oh, she sees them coming because she already has her prior weapon ready.
Something has her shooketh, and we won't know.
Someone said there was a shadow you could see, but when I try to look, I'm like, I don't even know.
Ain't no shadow. Yeah. They also said like, oh, when Jon died, his blood made a shape. No, it didn't. People just see shit and say shit. There's really no way.
There's a Jesus in this cracker.
Shut the fuck. My tortilla has Our Lady of Guadalupe in it. Yeah, people just see stuff and say stuff, and it doesn't make any sense until it actually happens.
Yeah, and then like with the previews, you see Jon in the, what was it, sacred god, Godswood. Towards the end, because you see him from a upward angle, and you see the tree. Does the dragon drop him off right there and be like, hey?
Well, he said he was gonna hide somewhere close to the Godswood with a dragon, where the Night King couldn't see him. But
how can you hide a fucking dragon?
One, and two, like, who knows if that fool's even gonna show up? They're gonna be looking for him and be like, everyone's dying, and this fool has yet to make an appearance.
Well, he's not gonna be the one like in front of the lions, because you saw him when they were being, they were trapped in that little rock, and he was like up top somewhere afar, and then just throwing shit at them.
Yeah, I mean, and did you see all those White Walkers on the horses? They all had those ice spears. I was like, nope, no, I'm not ready for another dragon to die either.
And then you have Brienne saying, "Stand your ground." I was like, what the fuck? Did they re-huddle?
That shit looked terrifying.
Trying to bring that line.
I mean, they even put a big
Jorah's
thing
right
like,
next to her.
Yeah, they put a big thing like, oh yeah, I'm guarding the left flank. I'm like, what is happening at the left flank? Like, this isn't important until it's important.
Right? They made it specific, and then Jaime's like, yeah, it's a really good
My
spot.
freshman English teacher said all words are important, and I'm like, why is this important? Why?
They hinted a lot.
Oh,
they put in the crypts.
The crypts was like the top of the town.
Little girls all like, I want to find more. No, you'll go protect the crypts.
Yeah, like, something's up with the crypts. Something's going to happen in there.
Yeah.
Whether it's the dead rising or that dragon theory you had too, I don't know.
I don't know about that whole dragon theory, but that's a theory that's a bit of a reach. Huh?
That's a bit of a reach, yeah. But, I mean, all of Game of Thrones is, too.
But then it's like, they say there's like hundreds of dragon eggs down there, and it's like, okay, so when they come out, they're like just little baby dragons coming out.
Yeah, I don't know who they're buried with, or if they're buried with like an old Stark ancestor, or if they're buried with Lyanna. I don't remember what I read.
They have to be buried with Lyanna because Ned took that oath of promise.
But did Rhaegar have eggs? Like, that wasn't even.
They never really spoke of it. Yeah. I mean, something had to happen. There's something probably in her crypt. I mean, especially for like they put her in the last scene looking at her crypt.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's kind of funny, too, how Dany believed the stories of Rhaegar, like,
being a rapist,
kidnapping her and raping her and stuff like that when she knew him. Well, she didn't know him. He was older. But she heard, like, the nice stories about him. Even she was like, I can't believe, like, he did all those things. And
well, how should she know? Because she wasn't there that time. But then, like,
you think she would be relieved to find out that her brother wasn't a fucking rapist. They were in love. Yeah.
And it's like, it's not really, it's like weird because she's giving him these weird looks, and it's like, okay, don't get mad at him, bitch. She's like, that wasn't his fault. He just found out too.
Not even that, but like the wheels are spinning in her head. She's like, oh my God, I'm going to have to kill this fool too. Like, I'm fucking my nephew. I'm probably going to have to kill him because he's the actual heir to the throne. I worked way too hard. I'm not giving this up.
She may kill Bran because he says like, yeah.
Bran can't keep his fucking mouth shut. Samwell's going to go meet his brother and father soon. Like, she's looking murderous. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. She might actually like her dragon, Dracarys, and then oops, accidentally got Sam. How did that happen?
I was aiming for the Night King, but
but you got in the way. How could you?
So who knows? It would be epic if it was like Arya that killed the Night King, if she like put her in disguise.
That would be really cool if that happened. Now that I think about it, that would be awesome.
Because that's a possibility.
Yeah, and the only way that they survive this is if the Night King does die. That's literally the only way. The only way.
You think that they'll probably prolong the Night King to probably the next episode after this?
I'm hoping that this battle is done because I can't take the stress anymore. I'm losing hair. I'm not eating. My appetite is fucked. Like,
I think it's also with Endgame coming up.
That I can semi-survive because I thought Infinity War was just tragic. So you could only go up from there. But with Game of Thrones, like,
because we don't know.
There's no happy ending. At least with Endgame, you kind of know, like, they have to win somehow. But in Game of Thrones, they could totally just be like, no one wins.
No one wins.
They'll just straight up put a thing right at the end of season 6, be like, the end. Fuck you.
Yeah. No one wins. Gendry's the ruler of the 7 kingdoms.
Or they'll totally Dexter us and go make Jon Snow be a lumberjack in some random ass forest while everyone else is dead. You know?
He's like, fuck this. I don't want to be your king. I'm done. Everyone's dead.
Luckily it hasn't gotten to that point yet where it's just a terrible season.
Yeah, just the White Walkers take over and they start over their own ruling lives, but with White Walkers.
Imagine they're all happy and like blue and living together.
How are they going to survive the South when it's summer?
They just don't talk. They're like, That'd be funny.
Everyone gets to ride a dragon.
Yeah.
But yeah. But who knows what's going to happen. We'll see till Sunday. Where's Melisandre?
Oh.
Where is that witch?
She's off in Volantis chilling. None of this is her fucking problem yet.
But I want to see when Arya sees her again, apparently. Because she did tell her, we're going to cross paths.
Mm-hmm. And she also told Varys, I have to die in this strange land. So maybe when all is said and done, she'll just come back and look at all the havoc she's wreaked and just die. Get eaten by sacrifice herself as dragon food or something.
Take off her necklace and be an old woman.
Yeah, maybe if she takes her necklace off long enough, she just kind of dies of old age. Maybe that's what she'll do.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought when she took off her necklace right there, I thought she was going to die right there in that bed, naked.
Lord, I don't know.
But
I don't know. Maybe she'll show her face before the end of the season. I don't know when or where. It's going to be hella random when she shows up. Like, oh, hey.
Well, she does show up randomly, so kind of used to that.
Her timing is a little questionable, but if she shows up, she better show up with some fucking help. She better be able to, like, summon fire from her titties and do something. Like, she can't just show up and just talk her riddles. She needs to actually do something and help defeat the dead.
It's like, hey, I'm back with another prophecy.
How about you birth another fucking dragon baby that can't die and that just kills nothing but White Walkers? How about that? Do something.
She's not going to do anything. She'll probably show up on the second and last episode. It's like, there you are.
She'll probably show up when it's all ashes and just come and die on the ashes. And that's it. Goodbye, everyone. Fuck you.
And the end. All right, so we'll see what's up on Sunday, and we'll probably be back to let you know on our thoughts, and some tears will be on your way.
Can't wait.